Welcome back. This is a safe and secure podcast. Okay. Oh my God. I messed up again. It's okay.
All right, the next one we got it.
The next one we got it. Welcome, guys. This is the Safe and Secure podcast. Thank you for joining us. I'm Shayna, your host. This is my co-host Shay.
Hello.
And we're here creating a safe space to talk about everyday relatable life topics, men, women, whatever. No judgment.
That's right. We are two open-minded women who are secure in ourselves, who have created a safe space where we can talk about anything with no judgment.
And today we have a guest.
That's right.
His name is Nova.
Yes.
Thank you for joining us.
Absolutely. Thank you for having me. Appreciate it. Safe and secure.
Thank you.
Yeah. Definitely got to just say, first off, I'm really proud of you, Shayna and Sheena. This is
Thank you.
awesome. When I saw you guys on Instagram, I was like, wow, look at this. The Shaynas got teamed up. You know what I mean? To take over the world. So yeah.
Listen,
This is
I
dope.
feel like everybody needs a community.
Absolutely.
So
Mm-hmm.
especially yourself. Okay, can you tell me? Okay, you used to do music, and I know you still are into music. You're a father. You're in the politic world. You're in the activist world, music world, community cleaning up, working with sanitation world. Like, you do so many different things, Nova, and you are like a father. That alone is like 5 jobs. Like,
Absolutely. That's a fact.
how do you do it? Like, seriously, a Black man in America, and you just still look young.
Yeah, we try. I mean, I think it's important to maximize, whatever potential you have, and try to be as focused as possible. So don't spread yourself too thin, and really just try to, achieve as many goals and things that you want to do in life.
Mhm.
You know what I'm
Right.
saying? So, I think we're blessed to be busy, to have a lot of things to do and a lot of things on our plate. Definitely blessed to be a father, and that creates, like you said, that's 100 jobs in one in already. So,
Crazy.
but yeah, I mean, music is something that is always a part of me. So no matter what I'm doing, creativity and music and the arts are kind of like always a foundation of it.
Mhm.
But as I got older,
Real quick, I'm sorry.
Uh-huh.
I was introduced to you through Cav.
Yeah,
We had
my
him
brother.
on the last episode,
Mhm.
and
Make sure y'all get that different type time.
yes, shout out to
Mhm.
Cavalier. And you was rapping.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know what else you was doing, but I know that world. Once I was introduced to y'all, it was like I was like stuck. Oh my God, it's coming to me. It's coming to me. I wrote it down because I be needing
Okay,
notes.
because you're a professional.
I be needing notes.
Mhm.
Hello, you know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
She be all over the place. You got to write it down.
I don't remember the name of the group. It's gonna come back to me. Okay. It was you, Treasure. What was that?
New
group?
Rap Order.
New Rap Order.
Yeah,
Oh my
NRO.
God.
Yeah.
I
New
know
Rap
that.
Order. Yeah.
And I wrote it down. I was talking about it last night with Crystal too, because
Yeah.
I remember that era. Like,
Yeah.
you guys was everywhere.
Yeah, I mean, we were definitely making our way through New York City's hip hop underground scene,
Mhm.
and throughout the East Coast. So, yeah, we were everywhere. Shows, a lot of records being put out. We were able to achieve some success with the group that I was in. Within the New Rap Order was like a collective of artists.
Mhm.
So we had singers, rappers, videographers. We had kind of like a whole collective.
Yeah, I had a whole team,
right?
a production every time.
Production.
Yeah. So we were able to, within that, we had like a group called The Project that I was a part of, and we was able to get an independent record deal, in the early 2000s, mid 2000s, like
Okay.
2007, 8, around that time. That allowed us to do some more things. So yeah, we had a good time with that collective, and out of that collective, there's still artists like, Cavalier, who was family and who was part of, the New Rap Order, who are still doing their thing musically and successful, and we all still kind of have our hand in the music in some shape, form, or fashion. Me personally, like once life kind of happened and I really, I was always focused on music and the behind the scenes, kind
Mhm.
of like A&R, which is kind of what we'll get into,
Yep.
artists and repertoire. But I always had that in me early on. Like I was always like booking the studio time, setting up the shows,
Mhm.
creating the t-shirts, like creating the promo plan and that sort of
That's a lot.
brand.
All of those are like separate jobs. Like
Right.
people have full-time salaries doing those different jobs.
Right. But when you're independent, you
gotta do it
end up
all.
doing
Do it
all that
all.
shit
Yeah.
yourself. But you don't look at it as like, yo, I'm doing 6 jobs. You just look at
Yeah.
it like, yo, we moving. We got
I gotta do this. I gotta do that. I
Gotta
gotta
do.
That's it.
Yeah.
We trying to get this out. We gonna print stickers. We gonna make a street team.
Yes,
We gonna
you guys
get
did all of
t-shirts. We
that.
gonna go around. We gonna make ourselves known. We're gonna do these different things and advertise ourselves in certain ways. So I always had that marketing business kind of bug in me as well. So once I started to kind of like slow down with rapping, life started happening. My mother passed. Priorities really just like,
Sorry about that.
I appreciate it. Yeah, life happened.
And you
right?
still held it down.
Yeah, I mean, you got to.
You really
Yeah.
held it down.
Yeah. So once, life start life, and as they say, then I had a daughter, and it was just like, for me, I started to realize that it was like, what was the goal of the music?
Yes.
You know what I mean? Like, what was the actual goal? And I realized like the goal was always for me to kind of just say my piece and hopefully like make changes through my music.
Mhm.
Yeah.
And I didn't realize that I didn't have to be like a rapper to do that.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So I always was in this mentoring space as well along this way, like with younger guys in my neighborhood. I even while we was rapping, like I had a construction background, so I would put a lot of guys on.
Mhm.
So a lot of niggas that was in my neighborhood.
You was really on some community leader.
Yeah, but yeah.
Like that type time.
But I was on some shit like, nigga, you outside, like, what the fuck we doing?
Yeah.
Like, come to work. You know what I'm saying? 'Cause every day I go to work,
Get
you still
paid.
here.
You don't want to.
I leave the block and I come back to the block, you still here. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Fuck is you doing?
We still see that.
Yeah.
Like,
so that was my
not our
energy
peers,
was like, yo,
but-
my nigga, let's go. Like, let's do something. So I was that guy. Not thinking that that's mentorship, right? That's just like,
It just came natural to you.
right. It's just like, yo, giving opportunities where you are able to. And so that kind of just morphed into more so a focused intent on mentoring and on having young men specifically, in the start around and kind of directing them and then doing that also in music, right? As much as, a young boy or girl, whatever, needs a job at 17, they also rapping and thinking that they're gonna be a rap star. You know what I'm saying?
Can I rewind?
Mhm.
When did you realize that rapping was your calling? Like, around like what age were you?
Oh
And
man.
also mentoring, because all of that, you just stated that all of that was flowing into the same aspect.
Right.
So when did all of that like
Converge.
Yeah.
Right. So rapping was something, and music, like, it's funny because, Cab was like, yeah, it's an R&B nigga. And I am, right? Like, I'm really,
He was
like,
giving real Chris Brown when I first met him. And I was like, Chris, who that? Girl. I wasn't like, but I was like, who that girl?
yo.
Sorry. I was
nah,
a
it's
fan,
all
but
good.
like on the physical.
It's
my
so
bad.
good. We had
It's Safe and Secure
a lot of the
podcast.
kids. Now we safe and secure.
Yeah,
You know
for
what I
sure.
mean? We
Safe and Secure podcast, okay?
And Selassie
I was
called
looking.
you safe and secure. You already know, Capleton. But music was an influence from young.
Mm-hmm.
Music was big in the family, just like, most black families. You know what
Yeah.
I'm saying? But my shit was like, my mother it was Luther Vandross, Anita Baker, Michael
Yep.
Jackson, Stevie Wonder,
There was a lot of love in that house.
Yeah, it
Just
was
a lot of
it was
uplifting and
a lot of
love.
vibes, so that was really like that's really my foundation of music.
Okay.
Just like great R&B. Yeah, so, and then the 90s come, and mid 90s or whatever, and then I get into hip hop, and then I'm outside obviously, and I become influenced. And I was rapping like in junior high, just playing around, and all of my friends, and it was like, oh, you always said you wanted to be a rapper. So then as we got older, high school, you start rapping. And that's just the thing. That's just our medium.
Yeah.
You know what I'm
Right.
saying? If it was the 80s or the 70s, I might have been singing. You know what I'm
Rapping
saying?
in the lunchroom.
Right. So you just start doing that. And it's just a natural thing, just like basketball. And we
Mhm.
all playing basketball. Everybody thinks they're going to go to the NBA. So you rapping and you think you're going to become a famous rapper.
Right.
And you keep, the longer you stay at it, you meet more friends. They have the same dream. You start to realize that there's a business aspect to it. You start putting those two together. And before you know it, you like putting out a record and you're doing things,
Yeah.
you're doing shows. So it's a great, you know, creativity and artistry is a great thing to be a part of. But definitely at some point, just like anything, you have to like make decisions on, is this a sustainable thing?
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
That is some real. Is this sustainable? What is this doing for my life?
That's a
Is this
fact.
making me happy?
Yeah.
Is this making
How
me money?
am I gonna profit off of this?
How am
That's a
I going to
fact.
profit off of this?
That's a
And
fact.
still,
You know, is it
can I
gonna
have
make
3
sense?
jobs living in New York?
You know?
and chase
Yeah.
my dream?
Facts.
Well, live in my dream, but I have to finance my dream.
Like, do I have to
Absolutely.
sell
You know?
drugs to do what I gotta do?
Absolutely.
Hello, a lot of
You
people
know
do
what I
it.
mean?
Absolutely. I
rappers
mean, that's
influenced you
a
back then?
great point that you say that, right?
Say it again, Shayna.
You
I
know,
said, do you have to sell drugs? Like, so I could.
right.
What I have to do.
And you know, the music industry is and like the drug business and like any and just the criminal, like,
Scammers, prostitutes, drug dealers.
right, it goes hand in hand,
Mhm.
right? So like, you know, like Def
Sex
Jam, like a
sells.
lot of shit was built off drug money. You know
Of
what I'm saying?
course.
Like, you know what I'm
Yeah.
saying?
New
Like, a lot
York
of that shit is just
is
built off
drug
drug money.
money.
You know what I'm saying? Like whether it's like big time drug money or it's just
Yeah.
like regular niggas hustling and now they got $10,000 to like do some shit. But like it costs money to make records. You know what I'm saying? On a
Studio
level where
time,
you're trying to
equipment.
really make it. So yeah, drug money be like a real
Gotta pay
thing.
people to be quiet.
That's a
and
fact.
all that.
You know
I
what I mean?
remember
Gotta have a whole team.
in high school, guys was like paying. They would come together, put their money together for studio time. Like they would put their money together to buy weed. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
It's like 4 niggas on one blunt.
Absolutely.
Mhm.
And they put their money together, even though they was doing that. They was smoking in the studio and put their music, you know, their time to use.
Yeah.
But drugs, you know, people.
Yeah, I mean, and that's why
And what we see on TV
unfortunately,
too,
that's
so.
why a lot of the music, a lot of people you see become successful be like gangsters and shit. You know
Yeah.
what I'm saying? Or they
They
have
from
like
the hood,
an
the
attachment
trenches.
of-
And they
right.
say, oh,
You
that
know what I
whole
mean?
album,
That whole-
our
You know
whole
what I
album
mean?
I did.
Yeah,
was,
because niggas had money from
Yeah.
before. They
Off
were
of
able
coke
to
money,
be like,
yeah.
yo, I'm able
Mhm.
to make a nice video. You know, who got 10 racks in the hood?
Right.
It's just a
Mhm.
great
Right.
rapper. He's writing in his house. He don't got $10,000
Exactly.
to like make a nice video. And we talking about maybe not now you need to take it, but back in the day. So I just wanted to highlight that's an important thing. You know, the financing of your career, you know, however it's done, it's an important thing. And at some point you start to be like, yo, you know, am I doing it the right way? Right.
Right.
And is it sustainable? Can I make it and whatnot? And you got to make decisions. So, you know, you start to make decisions. And
Yeah,
like
I want a
once life
retirement
starts
plan. I want a
happening.
401k. Like
Yeah,
everything
yeah.
like that.
And you know, you want I started to realize like security is important for me.
Me too.
You know what I'm
Absolutely.
saying?
Oh my
Same
goodness.
way.
Like security, I'm a risk taker, but I'm like a calculated risk taker.
Right.
And like I definitely want to be able to see. I want to be able to see like my
Growth,
out.
yeah.
You know what I'm
Mhm.
saying? Like
Because if
I
you don't
know
take the risk, it's like
you know.
you can't. Then you're gonna think like, damn, I never tried that. So it's still
yeah,
like
absolutely. Yeah, no,
you
so you
making
gotta
a
take the risk.
important
You gotta take
decisions,
it.
but
Mhm.
it's with anything you do, like applying for jobs that you like, I don't like, but you like, you know what, I'm gonna make some money off of this.
Yeah,
That's taking a risk.
I'm gonna work with
That's a
it.
fact.
And
Yeah,
I'm gonna do what I have to
because
do.
you have a plan, you have a vision.
Yeah.
You naturally, what I notice about you,
As long
even
as you have a plan.
you always, your vibe was always like, what are we doing? What is this about? Well, you know, it's always strategic. Like I felt like, so you
Mm-hmm.
really was channeling back then when I first met y'all. Like
Yeah, we were
Be strategic.
definitely trying to
Man.
make some things happen.
Young,
Yeah,
and y'all were
yeah,
doing
we
that
Yeah, absolutely,
young.
very young, and we were trying to you know, just make our way and like figure it out. You know, and we look back and it's like, oh, these mistakes we made here, these mistakes we made here.
what rappers
Um,
you was listening to back then?
When we were younger, what rappers was I listening to? Everybody from New York. I mean, like really young. You know,
What like who really stood out to you? Like the few, because I feel like it's a plethora of rappers, but it was like what's your group?
I got I kind of fall along the lines of like a lot of the great rappers that people,
You like Jay-Z?
Jay-Z,
Of course.
Biggie,
Biggie,
Nas,
Nas.
Snoop,
Snoop,
Okay.
Tupac.
Tupac. I mean, yeah, big Tupac fan.
Mhm.
I was like actually a Tupac fan before I was like a Biggie fan. I mean, Tupac came out before Big, but
Why is that?
I think that Tupac for me because I was a child, obviously as a young kid, but Tupac represented Tupac was like a superhero.
He
Mm.
was.
Tupac was like larger than life.
His
he
tone,
just
his voice was like,
yeah, he was just like a
Yeah.
superhero.
He was like an activist at the
yeah,
same time.
exactly.
He was hood.
Yeah.
he
You
You could be hood and be smart.
absolutely.
Right.
Well, that was,
Absolutely.
and I know that's another thing. Back in that era,
A lot of people were intimidated by him as well.
you got being smart and being a rapper was like a thing.
Well, yeah, that era, yeah, absolutely. Because there was a lot more balance in that era. Even though the streets were chaotic, and that's one of the things that like we're missing now, right? Like intelligence was still upheld as something that was important, right? So even if you might have been a killer, a drug dealer, you know what I'm saying, doing some stupid shit, right? Some criminal shit, but you actually like there were also methods of acquiring education, whether it was street knowledge or not. You know what I'm saying? Like, the 5% nation, right? Nation of gods and earth. So now you in the streets, but you have to have knowledge of self, right? To actually move around in these streets.
Yeah.
So there was definitely a lot of like, and I was too young to experience that, but I came of age like right after that.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So the rappers I listened to were talking about that. Right. So I was able to be like, oh, like what's this knowledge of self thing, and apply that and realize like, oh shit, like me and my friends
Nova Smart, y'all,
are doing the same thing that we're kind of doing the same thing. Like I remember when like I first started to like read like the lessons and the certain things that the gods and the earths were reading back in the day. And a lot of the terminology was similar to what we were using, but we didn't even know. So it was just like, oh, it's a lot of these things are culture based, and yeah.
For somebody that was like coming around that, and didn't really know about that. Like, how would you break down like that? You said the 5% of people, like,
yeah. The 5%.
Elaborate on that one, because I still kind of don't really know much. So I ain't do my research, but
yeah,
I would hear about a lot of it. But I know they were positive.
Yeah, I'm definitely not a scholar in it, but the 5% nation is generally saying that 5% of the population has what they call, knowledge of self, has the real knowledge, right?
Okay.
And then the 85% is lacking. Right.
Yeah.
So you of that 5% that have, and they have, a certain amount of lessons. They have an alphabet. They have a numerical code, right? The numbers from 0 to 9, so to speak. Each number represents a word, represents something. Each letter in the alphabet represents something. And, the gods are the men and the earths are the females. And, the child, I believe, is the sun, so it's all like based on the planet.
Some spiritual universe stuff.
Right. And you have to actually know these things, and someone can ask you like, hey, what's today's mathematics is something that I'm probably sure a lot of people have heard that term.
Yeah.
What's today's mathematics? So the mathematics refers to the alphabet and the number system, right? So today is the 1st of January, so it's 1-1.
Yeah.
20
it's a whole type
so you would have to be like 1 represents this and that.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? But just think about that method and how it trains your brain to just be intelligent.
Yeah, right.
You know what I'm saying? Just be smart. Like now you're memorizing shit. So you could be like outside and like selling drugs, but somebody come up to you and be like, yo, what's today's mathematics? You got to be on point. Or else like,
you got to know your math.
you got to know your math.
For real.
So, and like I said, I'm not a scholar in that world, but
you
I
broke
came
it down for me because I didn't know.
I learned something today.
I learned something. I always knew and heard about stuff like that. Like even with the what's the guy? Shoot, I forgot his name, man. I followed him online. Oh my god! But that crowd, it's like every time I listen to it, I'm like, please tell me his name. You know who I'm talking about? 21 Keys. Is it?
Oh right.
I don't know if he's a part of that world too.
19 Keys.
19 Keys. Oh my God, 21. Who said it? Who said that?
Right.
Who said that?
Mhm.
19 keys, girl. Thank you.
Yeah, that brother's
Janelle.
definitely,
She know what she
preaches
talking about.
or
The
speaks about
artist,
knowledge of self.
Yes.
artist of repertoire workshop. What does that represent?
Yes.
What
Yes.
like
Thank
what are you
you.
trying to bring to? I see that you do a lot of stuff with the community, so I want you to like elaborate on that.
Yes, absolutely. So that was kind of like you talked about how did the music and
Yeah.
mentorship
Yeah,
or whatever
yeah.
converge, and that's pretty much how those two roads kind of came together.
Mhm.
With me just basically not figuring out, I want to say, but I did kind of figure something out where, like, for many years, like I said, in this artist scene, being independent, you put up your money a lot, right?
Mhm.
So I done spent tens of thousands of dollars
Mhm.
into my music, into the crew and whatever. And you get to a point where you realize, like, oh shit, like, niggas is not using their own money to make shit happen.
Yeah.
That's not how
That's
you do
right.
shit. That's not how you
Right.
do business in America.
Yep.
You know what
Yeah.
I'm saying? You don't use your own money. Like, so I got to that point and I started wanting to create something for young artists, a platform for them, a space for them where they could share and create and perform, but also get like the education on how they can do better on their performance. And just give them like a more balanced aspect where I'm not charging them in New York City. And I'm sure across the states that there's a lot of pay for play showcases, and it's real hard for independent artists. You know what I'm saying? They want you to pay $1,000 to perform for 3 minutes.
Yeah.
You know,
Get out of here.
Oh, absolutely. You know, or you
That's
gotta
crazy.
you gotta sell
$1,000.
25
Give me
tickets.
$1,000.
Right. Yeah. Or you gotta sell, 30 tickets at, $20 a pop
Mhm.
to have people come and see you perform on a Wednesday night for 5 minutes.
Yeah.
You know what I'm
Crazy.
saying? Like, it just be a crazy ask for independent artists. So I just want to create a space where you're like, yo, y'all could come, y'all could perform, but we also going to give you feedback. We're also going to give you information. There's people going to be there that can help you with your career, and not only your career, right? The artist part is the artistry.
Right.
Mhm.
But then the repertoire part, repertoire being a word that means your mythology, right? Your methodology, your what's in your tool bag. What do you
Okay.
bring to the table? What's
Okay.
in your repertoire? You know what I'm saying? So if you are a basketball player, for instance, what's your skill set, right? That's your repertoire.
Mhm.
So in life, we wanted to present young artists and young people with things that can help them in their life's repertoire. You know what I mean? So it's not only about the art. Yeah, we're creating a space where you can be free in your art, be your authentic self and all that cool stuff, right? But also, we also understand that it's bigger than the art. When you get off
Right.
that stage, like, you might need a job,
Mhm.
right? While you're trying to pursue rapping. So we have folks over here that can help you with, employment assistance, right? You may be 19 and ain't got your GED. So I got the homies over here
That is amazing.
that can help you with that. You know what I'm saying? You may need housing. You know what I'm saying? So
And that's
I got,
important in New York.
a table over here. So that's what the events would be. It would be like a
Okay.
show where they could perform. But then when they get off stage, like, there's people there. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You got the
To help
local
you.
assemblywoman there. She can help you with she's going to speak to you if you want to network with her. So just creating a more balanced setting in these artistic spaces where it's just not like, I'm going to help you blow up or some shit.
Right.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
But I could guide you to stay
It's like
focused.
pointing them into the right direction
Yeah.
at the same time.
Right.
Staying focused
right.
and
Just giving it a
being.
little balance,
Yeah.
Yeah,
So
so
that's the
you-
artist and repertoire, yeah.
What's the community thing that's on Nostrand Avenue in Fulton? Or it's on Fulton? What is that?
Oh,
called?
Nostrand and Fulton. That's
What's on Fulton? What's the big community?
Restoration Plaza.
So you basically was your own Restoration Plaza.
Well,
I
I
feel
mean,
like-
yeah, through Straight Out of Brooklyn, which is my, my company, my organization. That's kind of like a model for like what I essentially want to do,
Mhm.
which is kind of like really build a community center on steroids. You know what I'm saying? Like the real ideal community center, but not only a community center, but like a community center network. You know what I
Okay.
mean? Where like you really have these hubs in different neighborhoods that work together and it's community run,
Mhm.
by the local residents of that particular area. So yeah, Restoration Plaza, which is, a place where Assemblywoman Zinnerman, her office is in there. She's in Bed-Stuy, Crown Heights in the 56th district. And I work with her a lot on a lot of different events and initiatives and stuff. And yeah, it's just important to have these spaces where people know that they can go and get assistance in their neighborhood.
Because I feel like growing up when I was like elementary school, junior high school, we always was versed on who's the mayor, who's the president, who's the community leader, who's the local this
Cleaning
and
up
that, and who does
the
this and who.
neighborhood.
And we just, once high school came and attention and TV, and you kind of forget all that stuff.
phone.
Oh,
Cell
yeah,
phones,
of course.
sidekicks. But I
Trying to
feel
look
like
cute to go to
now
school.
it's when I come around you and it's like, yo, Nova, definitely, I need to wake up. You know, you kind of really put me into perspective.
Word.
And thank you. Nova is the reason why I'm doing this podcast, because
Yeah,
he put me out my shell.
He sure did.
And he got me out my shell. I didn't know what
She
I
talks
was
about
doing.
that all the time, by the way.
I didn't know what I was
Nova.
doing.
Everybody's reaching out to me.
I did not know
good.
what I was doing. And I'm going to tell you right now, this man gave me the opportunity to be a part of so many different artists, community people, himself, his every, like, whoever you was around, like, you know, when you do your events and, you know, this artist repertoire, the youth, like, and they all follow me through social media, and they all have hit me up and, you know,
Nice.
kind
Yeah, they
of
asked to be on the show.
Nice.
a lot of
Oh, that's
people,
dope.
and they all
That's
was
dope.
like, you know, I have
Yeah,
a little,
remember you?
Yeah.
you know,
Shayna,
but again, didn't
yeah.
know what I was doing.
Yeah, no, I mean, listen,
But I
sometimes
smiled.
you don't have to know what you're
Some
doing.
of-
You know
Yeah,
what
I
I'm
tell her that all the time.
When I tell
Yeah.
you some of the artists that he helped out, like you just said, you know, you just come and, yo, just give your feedback. We're going to have this. We're going to do this. We're
Sometimes
going
you
to have
just
close.
need that push.
The artists were like, they
Mhm.
were whispering to me like, this is my first interview. I never did this before,
Mhm.
but you did good. And I was
Yeah.
like, what?
Word.
What are you talking about?
Word.
I
Yeah.
take these heels off.
Yeah, and that's the
Come on,
that's
get over
the,
here, girl.
right.
Well,
That's the idea, right? To build your repertoire.
Like,
Yep.
You added
For real.
something to your repertoire.
like
you know what I'm
they
saying?
were like thanking me, like, yo, thank you, yo, you did good.
That's a fact.
So now when they see me, they'll hit me up and on the
Nice.
side and be like, yo, what's your number so we can, you know, even prior to Safe and Secure podcast, it
Dope.
was like, yo, what
Let's
you
lock
doing?
in.
Come to my show. Come
Yeah.
to this. Come to
Yeah.
that.
Let's lock in.
So that's what kind of made me come on my show. Like, okay, I see. Okay, you good with people. You just like they were picking up on my energy really fast.
Yep, and that's what it is. Like,
So
yeah,
that helped me, and I want to say
absolutely.
thank you.
You're
I
welcome.
really appreciate you.
Absolutely.
Shout out to you.
I got you. Yeah, yo, you know, obviously we friends and stuff and
Yeah,
you know, fam, but
Mhm.
I was watching, I would always, obviously I would see you on Instagram,
wilding out.
you know, wilding out. You know what I mean? Being Shayna. And I
Right.
was like,
No,
and I would
sexy
put
red.
these
But go ahead.
doing these events and I'm like, yo, who could I have like do some interviews? Like, and
I
I'm like,
didn't know.
Shayna would be the perfect
She
person.
is so good.
I'm like, she would just be the
Yeah.
perfect person. And I'm like, I
I mean,
wonder
off
if
the
she
camera,
ever.
I'm so much better.
And I remember asking you, like, oh, have you ever thought about like doing like interviews? And I don't remember if you was like yes or no, but I was like, yo, listen, I think
I was
this would be
super.
something
I
that
mean,
you do.
You did so good.
like this. Every time I was like, just my body was
You was shaking.
shaking. Like I didn't know what to like. But at the same time, this is something that I talked about on numerous occasions. The
Yeah.
people close to me,
Nice.
and they always would tell me like,
Mhm.
you know what? At this, like they was getting tired of my ass.
Right,
like
right,
I'm tired
right.
of not seeing you on TV,
On
girl.
TV doing something.
tired of
Right,
this.
Right.
Tired of these people.
Right.
Get Carisha off now.
Right.
No shade, baby.
Right. No shade.
But-
Carisha. Be safe and
Shout out to
secure.
you, boo.
For real.
'Cause it's, you
Mhm.
know. But it was just, I mean, funny, but it was just still like you. So I can imagine what the people that you help out, that especially with the artist repertoire,
Right.
working with the community leaders,
Word.
centers, politics. It's like, so I know they take you serious because they don't play about you. Like they show up.
And how do you balance that, like, you know, helping the community? Because, you know, you get attached to that. too.
Absolutely.
Like you might meet a young kid and you see yourself in him or her
Oh,
and
yeah.
you want them, you know, to keep going. So how do
Mhm.
you balance
Yeah,
that
wow.
with being a father and also just like helping
Yeah.
young kids?
It's definitely a balancing act. I think that I'm working on that. I think balance is something that we all try to achieve. And that's another thing like about just like the music industry and
Mhm.
just being like someone that wants to be successful. Balance is such a tricky thing.
Listen,
It's such a tricky word
real.
because what you hear from the most successful people is that there's no balance.
Yeah.
Right? Like you have to actually accept the fact that you're not going to have a balanced life. And you know, that it just is what it is, right? You're going to put 80% of your shit in here and 20% is going to be over here.
Right.
And everybody that's going to be in that 20%, they just got to deal with it.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And that's a very interesting place to be. Like
trying to find out what's important.
Right. So you got to really, you know, and it's so for me, you know, when you're dealing with young people, I've definitely had scenarios where like you're like, oh shit, I'm getting too wrapped up into like this other person's life.
Yeah.
Right. Like, you know, you just gotta be like, yo.
And you don't want to come off like, I don't fuck with you like that. But
right.
I don't care if you're complaining right now.
Like children,
let's talk about business.
Like the youth, and you see the passion in their eyes.
And like they just want to talk to you.
Yeah. So it's difficult, you know. And one thing I've learned, like through doing mentoring with like different companies and dealing with people who are mentors, is that you have to know when to draw back.
Yeah.
Like, you know, just like
what's an example of that to draw back? Like if example, without telling nobody business, but like what's an example of
well, I mean, I have
when to draw back?
Yeah, I mean, I have there's been times where so one of the young men that I've mentored, probably like the first young man that I really like took under my, you know, wing or whatever you want to call it. You know, I've watched him grow up, you know what I mean? But there's definitely that time where young people, you grow up, right? You was 11 and now you 18.
They talking to you a little different.
Oh, you talking crazy.
Yeah.
Not different, crazy. You know what I'm saying? You done turned crazy.
Oh, you want to get
Yeah, right. So
sorry.
So now, right. You know what I'm saying? That's a fact. And hey, you are like damn, like I'm about to fuck this nigga up.
Yeah, like I prefer to do that.
Right? But like,
oh, you think you grown?
I'm crazy. Like that makes me crazy now.
Yeah.
Right? Like,
and
so
you
now
care so much, but you need to let him know, don't try it.
Yeah.
Right.
Not on this side.
Yeah.
Let's be professional.
Yeah, that's
and you teaching an 18-year-old professionalism
absolutely
from the hood.
Especially now.
And they
like
you have to be the example that you want to see in them. You know what I mean? And sometimes that just means like, you know what? You need to do your own thing. Let me just step back a little bit. Let me fall back and let you figure this out.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Because it's, you know,
and call me when you're ready to.
Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying? We still gotta kind of say that.
I'm there for, I know, absolutely. I'm there for
them.
You know what I'm saying?
And they don't know how to process that at first because I don't need you.
That's it.
Right.
But okay.
They gotta learn.
Right.
Yeah.
Because I've been there before. I was 18. You know what I'm saying? So I have to, you know, provide
was
that
you bad
sort of.
At 18? Was you bad, Nova?
Nah, I was never really bad. Nah, I mean, I was outside, but I was.
There's a lot of girls on your phone, on your Nextel.
I didn't have a Nextel.
What
I
you
didn't have.
had?
What you had?
I didn't have that joint.
You had a sidekick?
You had a sidekick?
Oh, you was bougie like
You had a
Shayna.
sidekick?
I had a sidekick.
I didn't have a sidekick. I had a Nextel.
I
had a
sidekick.
Nextel.
I was bougie too.
I mean, you know, you so bougie. That's all right. I love that.
Yeah, I had the
Give me your pen.
sidekick, and then I had there was another joint. I had like
BBM, the Burberry. What's the BBM? The Blackberry.
Oh, I had a Blackberry.
I had a Blackberry
I didn't
too.
have a Blackberry. No, I didn't have a Blackberry. But I had some
There's a lot
other
of
like
people-
super expensive shit that was like.
The sidekick.
A lot of girls in your phone.
There was a lot of girls on your phone.
There was not a lot of girls on my phone.
Come on, Chris Brown. Come on.
Nah, like
Tell
so
the
let's
story.
see.
I'm joking.
as
I'm
a
joking.
young
I'm
and not, it
joking.
wasn't that
I
many,
really don't
like-
know. I didn't know Nova when he was 18.
Yeah, like I always kind of like.
Okay, real quick. Seriously.
Mhm.
Me, I'm going to say this. What's the word, Shayna? The light-skinned kind of community,
What?
the
The
chocolate
light-skinned
people.
community.
They kind of, the girls was
Light-skin
coming,
energy?
the girls kind of was coming after the light skin. Like, y'all really had a team. Y'all had a community.
Stronghold, right?
Yeah,
That
y'all
was the
had a
barge.
community. Like,
Right.
with the,
We
you
was
know,
holding shit down.
you tall, like, you know, these.
Oh, the
So
tall
that wasn't
light-skin?
distracting you. Like, you knew.
You know what it is? Honestly,
You was safe and
I'm-
secure.
Like no,
Yourself.
I've always been pretty safe and secure with myself, but honestly, too, like I'm a fairly shy person.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? I'm a fairly
Because you
reserved.
young and you dealing with music and artists and this
Yeah.
and that.
Yeah,
I'm a-
So that's why I'm saying it, because it's like some of these boys, they get this amount of attention and then they, for
At
some
that
way, they
young
kind of
age,
lose
for
their
real.
way
Yeah.
and they thinking disrespecting women or because you getting attention, it's okay. And you know what I'm saying? Like, and like I said, you never came off like
Mm-mm.
you was into the delicious shit. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I kind of like my personality saved me a lot.
Okay.
You know, like when I look back, like sometimes I'll be like, damn, I ain't really like, I could have had a lot. I could have been a lot. I could have been out here. I could have been really out here. But I'd be like, yo, my personality, because I'm
You was
fairly
moving
reserved.
strategic.
Yeah.
You was thinking
But
about
it wasn't even, it
what
was,
am I
it
gonna
was
benefit from
strategic,
it?
But right. It was strategic in some ways, but it also was just like my personality,
Yeah.
right? Like I'm not really like the nigga that's going to really be like
On it.
Yeah.
trying to attract.
They
mad
wasn't trying to,
women.
you wasn't
know what
letting
I'm
no
saying?
woman
Like,
turn you
that
into
wasn't
no
really,
whore.
like, that's not really my personality.
I love that.
Like it's another nigga in the club that's going to get more
Right,
girls.
right, right.
Yeah.
He's just going
and
to
that's
do
okay.
it
Like,
because
bye.
he's more active. And
Yeah.
I'm chilling in the
He
corner.
probably
Yeah.
don't go
Like,
to the doctor.
Yeah.
right. You know what I'm saying? So I just
hear ye.
you
Go
know,
to the doctor.
right.
Hear ye. Shout out to that.
For real.
Yeah, so I just was always
So you was more shy. On the shy
absolutely,
side.
yeah.
And it's crazy because you're an artist and you're like performing. and
Yeah,
Right.
that's what I'm
things,
saying.
and
Like,
you're
Right,
shy.
right.
Like I'm shy, but
Right.
once that, like, you know, because I used to dance professionally,
Right.
and once like camera turns on,
There you
it's
go.
like,
It's time to do the job.
wait a
Come-
minute.
Right.
When you were rapping, right? Wasn't Shayna
I
like
was a
in
makeup
the
artist.
video? Okay.
She was a makeup.
How
artist.
was that?
For-
'cause
that
Crystal definitely was like-
that was to switch
the,
it up.
the set
yeah.
was very professional.
Yes, I
had
love
so
that
much
song.
fun.
Yeah, that was to switch it up. That was great.
It was
That was
was a
awesome.
dope
That was
video.
really, really a fun time.
Some real life models, successful people came out of that.
Yeah. I mean, we've definitely, you know, as far as the network and whatnot, you know, always attracted really like dope people. You know what I
Mhm.
mean?
It's crazy
Whether-
because I'm friends with one of the models you had in your video. I'm still friends with her till this day. Like we became close after that.
Wow. Who's that? Not Alana.
She's
Not
tall.
Alana.
Oh my God. Why I forgot her name.
Light skin?
I forgot certain
Yes.
names too. It's
Yes,
all right.
I know who you're talking about. I can't. It begins with an L. Her name's Ilana. Not Ilana.
We know your name,
We know
girl.
your name, girl.
We gonna shout
Yeah.
you out.
Forgot.
Yeah.
Oh, not the skinny long haired one. Another one. She was thick.
Oh, Daisha.
Daisha.
Yes,
there we go.
Daisha.
Look at
Sorry,
that.
baby. I forgot
Daisha.
your name.
You know your
Right,
name, girl.
Daisha, yes.
You know
Daisha.
your
Yeah,
name.
Daisha
Yes.
Fly. Yeah, man. She's still doing her thing.
Yeah,
you
she
know,
is. She's still
being,
doing her
yeah,
thing.
being dope. Yeah, everybody is dope. You know what I'm
Good
saying?
memory.
Falasha Day was in that video.
I remember
Right.
that name. Somebody told me that
Mhm.
name a lot.
So it
I've been in a lot of rooms, man.
yeah. It's
I'm
some
so
really
proud of
dope
me.
people in there in that video. That was a great time. Yeah, man, just being creative, you know, and just trying to move it forward. And now with the artist and repertoire, we about to start our new series up in June.
Okay.
So we're gonna start
Um,
the new workshop. You know,
I wanted to ask you real quick. You did something with the sanitation. What was that? How did you get into that? Like, cause I've seen you was in the Bronx, you was in Manhattan, you was in Brooklyn. You like
Yeah.
you was out here.
Yeah. So we
Getting-
produced a bunch of concerts and cleanup events with so I do work with the sanitation with with the sanitation
With
department,
the city and
but
you know.
with the nonprofit that is connected with the sanitation department, which
Okay.
is called the Sanitation Foundation.
Okay.
So that's a nonprofit partner of the sanitation department. And yeah, I started doing cleanups, you know, back to your question about how did everything converge,
Mhm.
right? Like everything kind of works together in the universe. So like around the pandemic time, the same energy of like me being home and niggas on the block and everybody not doing shit.
Mhm.
And then the neighborhood turns to shit. And I'm like, yo, like we need to clean this shit up.
Right.
You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
that's it.
Like,
Let's get
we
to
need
it.
clean shit
Starts.
up, you know what I'm saying? So like I get all the young guys that I know, and I ended up writing a grant for the cleanup, getting money for the cleanup, and was able to pay the volunteers, which you
Mhm.
know what I'm saying? You know,
Everybody like a little $20,
so
$25.
right, that's it. So all the young
Something.
kids, all the young boys. So now we got like 10 young boys that's normally will be over there doing whatever. They outside, they cleaning up the neighborhood.
Yeah, y'all
That
use
just-
this energy.
Right.
Y'all got
And
energy.
from there, I started doing more cleanups. That just became a thing with and getting them active, keeping them active,
Yeah.
and keeping them, involved in something positive. And then that connected me with the Sanitation Foundation, who's a nonprofit for the Department of Sanitation. And I started partnering with them, doing cleanups. And then they knew I was into music and I work with artists. So working with them, I was able to, every summer they do a lot of cleanups in the Bronx. 'Cause the Bronx is a community.
Shout out to the Bronx.
Yeah, shout out to the Bronx.
Johnny work. We all need
absolutely.
Work.
Unfortunately, the Bronx is the
Well, we need work
community,
too,
the
but-
borough that has the most trash.
Yeah, they had a big
It's
rat
just the dirtiest.
infestation.
Yeah, it's just
and
the
I felt
dirtiest
so
borough.
bad because it's like, imagine the people
but
that
hold
are
on.
older
No,
that
I
can't
don't mean
clean
to
up
cut you off,
properly.
but you,
Sorry.
because I live in the Bronx. What bothers me is that there's no like garbage cans on like every
Yeah.
corner,
Like it is
right?
in Carroll
In the
Gardens.
city,
Park
or
Slope.
like downtown Brooklyn, there's a trash can in every corner.
Yep.
Like I'm like holding the garbage in my hand,
Yeah.
and you don't see one until like sometimes I go all the way home and put it in the trash.
Yeah. Same thing in my neighborhood in Ocean Hill, Brooklyn. And literally this morning when I went grocery shopping and I came back and I have something in my hand, like 3 bags of groceries, and I got my smoothie cup and I'm looking around for a garbage
Yeah.
can. And I was like, corner.
Nothing.
Corner. No garbage can.
And they
So
have
the
routes
garbage
to clean
cans,
that up.
so these are the things you start learning, right? Garbage cans in communities are provided based on the council member and the local council, city council, the local district, right? So you're in District 56 or whatever, you have to talk to your local council member, right? Because it's paid for by them. We think that the sanitation department
Yeah.
should just put one in every corner.
That was gonna be my next
But that's
question.
some shit that's paid
Something like-
for by the local government.
Okay.
So this is why like my civic engagement just started to increase.
Well, I like that.
right?
Civic engagement.
Right, because
That-
I started doing a cleanup on my block, and what ends up happening is part of the New York City local government called NYC Service, they come to the block and they're like, oh, we did this cleanup. They give me this plaque and this award. They start sending me emails. You start realizing, oh shit, like if there's speeding on my block, if niggas is speeding on my block,
like
I could
that.
call the Department of Transportation and be like, yo, I need a speed bump and I need a stop sign in the middle of
Yeah,
my block.
Yeah.
because we think
Right?
I think that only those calls is through 311.
Right.
Because
You know what I'm
I'm
saying?
learning
Okay.
about this right now.
Yeah.
Like I didn't think
Me
that
too.
So the average person is like, oh shit, I can't do shit, right? I just gotta
Right.
have my daughter play on the block where niggas is speeding. Nah, fuck that.
Right.
Before I start arguing with niggas, we about to have niggas on this block make a whole speed bump on this shit.
Yeah.
Y'all ain't speeding on this shit no more.
I'm about
You know what I'm saying? So like, you start to
Don't
realize
call
that
311. You call your
that they're
community
all
council.
yeah. You gotta. That's why you gotta
Yeah.
know who the fuck is my assembly member.
Everything-
Who's my city council member in
That's
this
what I was
neighborhood?
just about
what
to ask
district do
you.
I live in? I got children here. What school
Yeah.
district is this? All that shit. Cause guess what? Guess who know that shit?
White people.
You can say it louder.
White people.
Okay, they know that shit. And they in Brooklyn, they in the Bronx,
Yeah.
they everywhere. You know what I'm saying? And they came, and no shade to them because they supposed to know that
Yeah.
shit. But we supposed to know that shit too.
Yeah,
That's
you
why
call-
they be like,
when
I
we
called
play-
my
but-
community
there you
councilor.
go.
The music
That's
is
a
too
His
fact.
loud.
civic
That's
engagement
it.
We have a
is real.
rule here.
Yep, that's a fact.
His civic engagement is real.
You're not
It
gonna
is
come in their
very important to
neighborhood
know your
and just be
community
like,
leaders.
you're not gonna come in their neighborhood and build a shelter. That ain't happening. You ain't gonna come in their neighborhood and build a drug fucking da 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 da.
Yeah.
Me and you,
You ain't gonna
far
happen.
from each other. Like,
You know what I'm saying?
literally.
You ain't gonna do that
Yeah.
in their neighborhood. Guess why? Because they at the community council meeting, they at the community this meeting, they at the police meeting, they at that meeting, and they like, no.
That's so important.
That shit
We
ain't
don't
gonna
make
get built
time for
around
things
from my
like that.
crib. Mm-mm.
It is
Mm-mm.
a lot of.
They're not gonna do that shit in their neighborhood because they show the fuck up.
That's so true.
I engage in the Carroll Gardens community.
You got to.
So you might see a
'Cause
little
you-
crazy
you
person
work
here.
around.
Yeah, right. You might see a little crazy person, doing this, doing that, whatever. And they're like, oh, they let these people out from this psych ward or this
right.
housing or whatever. And it's like, but when you come to the black side,
Right.
and there's no shade to all the white people, but it's
Right,
like,
of course.
it's just, let the people that have mental issues and that are freaking killers, let them
go
just
over there.
roam in the black community, even though that it's a school. We live by like an elementary
Absolutely.
school. Like we live by
Predators
elementary
and
school.
stuff by elementary
And it's
school.
we have grocery stores, we have things like that, but we also have a plethora of unruly people that are in these shelters, and it's getting like a little bit
Yeah.
too scary.
No, absolutely.
For me.
The whole city.
Like when
is
I
scary.
when I get out my car, I'm
It's
still like
Gotham City right now.
The whole city is
Yeah.
scary. You know, the whole city is under siege from you know, just low quality of life, and we're all being yeah, it's a cloud over the city. You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
for sure.
So, you know, and it's not it's, we talking culture, you know what I'm saying? It's not a race thing always, like,
no, it's not always a race
but
thing.
it's really a
We
community
just need
thing.
to be in the know.
Absolutely. It's a community thing. You know what I'm saying? Whether it's white, black, Asian, whoever is in your community, y'all got to make it happen in that community. You know what
Yeah.
I'm saying? And protect each other in that particular
Even the
community.
trains are getting bad again. Like,
You see
The trains is a
the
disaster.
Rockaway
Yeah.
Each
situation.
train car is like a prison cell.
yo, seriously.
Yeah, it's a mess. It's a mess. You know what I'm
And
saying?
you don't, you too, for me, I'm too scared to go to the next car and walk through the thing now.
Yeah.
Yo, I got on the train. the
Back
other
in the
day.
day, that was easy. Nothing.
Yeah.
That shit was, it's not even funny, but like, this nigga's on the floor, this nigga's on the floor. And she just passed out by the door. And I just start laughing. And the other people on the train, they looking at me like, what's wrong? And I'm like, this shit is, I'm literally talking, because now I'm the crazy one, right? Because I'm the type of nigga, I go on the train, I'll talk out loud. Because I know I'm not, I'll be like, this some real bullshit, right? Y'all all here standing around and y'all think this shit is normal, but this shit ain't fucking
No, it's
normal,
not.
Yeah.
all right? So when the train
Yeah.
stop at Chauncey, I stop the shit and I look and I tell the fucking MTA nigga, yo, my nigga, you got 3 people on the floor in there. I don't know if they're alive or not. You know what I'm saying?
For
I
real.
don't know what to tell you, my nigga. He go, yo, thank you, bro. I appreciate it. So at Broadway Junction, he gonna stop.
Speak
He
up.
gonna check
You
in.
gotta speak up.
But I'm like,
everybody does
This shit not regular.
Everybody does
Like,
this. They take their phone
I'm
and
like,
record it.
What the fuck? These niggas,
Yeah.
the lady, I'm literally standing there. I'm about to step on her head. Her head is on the floor on the train.
Wow.
Ding dong. The door opening. Her shit right there. I'm like, no fucking way is everyone gonna sit there on this train and let
And
her
act
just
like
lay there
nothing
and act like
happened.
nothing
Come
happened.
on, MCA.
You know what I'm saying? If she dead,
Y'all
not even
$3.
MTA.
Yeah.
Come
One
on,
way.
New Yorkers.
Yeah, New
Come on,
York
humans.
community, yeah.
Come on, people. Because I sure that shit would end up on Instagram where a nigga be like,
Yup.
oh, word, look
Yeah,
at this.
yeah,
she's
yeah.
Instagram is
dead.
the news.
So my point
And
is
it's like
come
no
the fuck
shade.
on,
I mean,
bro.
I like
Yeah, for
Instagram.
real.
I really
Right.
care about y'all.
But I ain't
lot.
about filming people and not doing nothing.
Like, you're
you know
not
what I'm
gonna
saying?
help them. You're not gonna ask. Like,
Facts.
it's just crazy. It's
Speak
crazy.
up.
Right. That's
Be in the
way.
know.
Up.
Know your community leaders.
Yes.
Just ask questions. One thing about me, everybody knows Shayna. Shayna's gonna ask a
Yeah.
lot of questions.
You got
For
to.
sure.
So and Shayna, she don't play about. She got her child. She got a family.
Yeah, I don't
No,
play.
She gonna
absolutely.
make sure she got some type of community around
Absolutely.
her.
Now that
And
I know that,
we're like that.
I'm calling.
Nah,
There's-
you got to.
there's
Yeah.
not
You got
a
to.
garbage right
My
here.
thing, my thing is, especially once you have a child, like for me, like
Big
community,
eye
civic
opener.
engagement, all that shit
Yeah.
went up. Everything goes up. Everything becomes like, oh nah, like
Yeah, you
she
become
gotta
like
have an escort. Like,
yeah,
fuck this.
a
nigga.
Yeah, like
You know what I'm saying? Like,
it's
A
and
protector.
she's
Like-
adorable.
yeah.
thank you.
Oh my God, your daughter is like
Thank you.
she look like mommy and she look like daddy, but them eyes. When she look at you, so it's like, oh my God, Nova, you made a little you. Oh my God, like she's so sweet
That's
and so
what it is.
smart.
Shout out Gold.
Like I see you did something with her school or something like that.
Yeah, so
She love her daddy.
yeah, so
love her
Her
parents.
school, shout out to her school, Saving Our Babies.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, cool. Yeah, shout out to Saving Our Babies. So we organized for Earth Day, for Earth Month actually.
Mm-hmm.
A community cleanup. Because like I said, I work with the Sanitation Foundation. I also work with Grow NYC. So I'm big on environmental education and sustainability as far as the environment is concerned as well. So we did a community cleanup. Unfortunately, her school was the victims of graffiti vandals.
Gosh.
So about a month or two ago, some guys came, graffitied the gate, graffitied the glass or whatever, and we caught them on camera. I installed a camera system for the school, so we caught them.
Nice.
I
You know
need
what I'm
some
saying?
cameras and so.
Okay, I got you. I got
I
you.
need some help.
Right.
I'm speaking
So,
up.
We caught them, right? And hear this one. The police arrested them. They're a group of white men who are targeting schools in Brooklyn.
Wow.
And no, I'm sorry, targeting schools in Bed-Stuy.
wow.
So we could all, you know what I'm saying, come to a conclusion of what type of crime that is. It begins with
Right.
an H. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
So anyway, what happened was,
Hate crime.
right. So we then said, obviously, we're going to do a cleanup for the neighborhood, but also I just connected with Department of Sanitation. They came, graffiti unit came, because we got a lot of great people in Department of Sanitation.
care.
And they came, they cleaned up
Yeah,
the gate,
man.
they repainted it for us, and they're going to change the glass, clean up the glass for us. So, everything is going to be fine with that. But yeah, we just
That's
did a great
beautiful.
cleanup with the kids. And shout out to Assemblywoman Stephanie Zinnerman. She came out.
Thank
Actually,
you.
she didn't come, but she was in Albany, so she couldn't make it. But her staff came.
Mhm.
She was able to speak with us via Zoom while she was at the state capitol trying to make the budget, finalize the budget. She had like 5 minutes for the kids to talk with them, and that was very important to have the children see, a powerful Black woman that
Man,
is
listen.
caring, that cares about her community, and that has time for them. And just to know, right, like you said, that these people, like I met Miss Zinnerman at a block party in front of Restoration Plaza, because that's where her
Okay.
offices are at, right? So the point is that when local politicians, when that shit is done right, you know what I'm saying, you able to bump into them and you be like, yo, Shayna, oh shit, you run, I need this. And they'll be like, oh, give me your
Write
number.
that down.
Right. They'll talk to their assistant and say,
Yep.
write that down, right? And you'll be able to connect with them.
Yeah.
And that's real shit. You know what I'm saying? If they doing it right.
Right.
And you as a resident, you as a mother, you as a parent, as a community resident, have that leeway. You got that power.
Right.
You can pull up on them at their office and be like, yo, there's something happening on my block, and I want to talk to you about that.
Yeah.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
That's amazing.
Nova,
Mhm.
thank,
Thank you.
absolutely. I appreciate it.
I want you to come back.
We
Yeah.
safe and
because
secure.
We
I
safe
want
and
you to come
secure,
back
for sure.
because
Right.
it's so many things that I forgot about. And it's so many times people
You just need a reminder.
I just need a refresher. I'm not one of those older people that's like, and I'm not that old, but I'm not one of those older people that's like, oh my God, I don't care about that. I gotta Google, I gotta access, no, I want to do it myself, but I do
Right.
want to reach out to people because I want to,
I think it's important for us to
It's
stop
so
complaining
important.
and start doing.
exactly
Absolutely.
speak up,
Stop complaining, speak up, stop taking out your phone.
get up,
help
get out and
someone,
go do
and do what
something.
you got to do.
Why
Facts.
not?
Because collectively we could all be a family. Like
Absolutely.
Cheers.
Absolutely.
Cheers to that.
Absolutely. Yes. Peace to Shayna. Peace to
Thank you.
Shayna.
Yes.
Safe
thank
and
you.
secure.
Oh my God, where to
love
find you? Where to find you?
love
Real
it.
quick.
Instagram at Straight Out of Brooklyn. That's STR8
Right.
BKLYN. STR8 OUTTA BKLYN. Straight Out of Brooklyn. That's where I got
What's
all my
next?
stuff.
The artist repertoire.
Yeah, the Arts and Repertoire Workshop, that's going to be starting in June. So you can holler at me if any young people out there want some guidance, and in their career. So we got the workshop. We'll have some shows throughout the summer as well. So,
Okay,
couple
great.
announcements. I'll definitely invite Safe and Secure to come and pull up.
You.
You know what I mean? Because when Selassie called you, it's Safe and Secure. Y'all got to use that. Like, I don't know if y'all know.
No, we
Well,
got.
I got to use that Capleton.
Okay, I got
You know what
you.
I'm saying? Because I'm from Brooklyn. It's all about,
That's right.
Shayna.
my Jamaicans and my
Yes.
Panamanians.
Jamaican. Shayna know about stuff like that.
It's Jamaican.
She know about stuff like that. I don't. So I'm Shayna Smiles at Instagram and Safe and Secure Podcast on YouTube and Instagram. Follow us.
Yes, and I am Shayna East Coast Medina. Follow me on Instagram.
And stop playing. Come get your makeup done because she
Yes.
be doing. Listen,
Come-
Word.
she listen. We could do
DM me.
makeup for the
You have to
community
DM
and do something
we could do
together. We could do
something,
something
like
with the
for the
kids
kids,
or
That would be
something
great.
like some type of.
That would be dope.
We could figure
Yeah.
something out.
for prom.
Whatever,
That would be dope. Because they
Yeah.
have a stepping up ceremony.
Yeah, something. We could figure. I'll come hand out some
Little
bottles of
glance
water.
Oh, a little
You know.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you for joining us. We appreciate you
Yes,
guys for
we do.
watching and listening, and just thank you.
Thank you. Yes, we love you.
Peace.
Peace.
Thank you so much. Oh my God. Appreciate